Top 5 adventure day rides out of Sydney. We're going to start with some short ones for beginners and then move on to a little more intermediate, longer ones. All right, let's start at number 1. First one here is St Albans to Laguna via the Old Pacific Highway. Up the Old Northern Road to Wisemans, you'll then cross the ferry and turn left onto Settlers Road. Pass through to St Albans unless you have a later start time and you want to stop there for a pub for lunch. Then head along the Wollombi Road, a nice and easy run through the bushland along the river. At the Buckety Wall, you'll turn left onto the Great Northern Road and then follow the well-paced sealed road to Laguna to the Great Northern Trading Post for lunch. Recommend making a booking here, it can get pretty busy on the weekends. After lunch, then head back south, turn onto Murray's Run Road, a great little historic dirt run that has existed since the early 1800s. Join back onto George Downs Drive, which will then turn into the old freeway of Pete's Ridge Road. Take the Old Pacific Highway back south and either into Sydney or via Goulston Gorge to make your way back to Old Northern Road to complete the loop. You can also shorten this one by returning via Wisemans Ferry Road instead. The GPX files for these rides, plus all of our rides, are available on motorides.com.au. Link is in the description. But also don't forget to share your photos and videos and GPX files of your rides. Go to motorides.com.au/share my ride. Number 2 is the Colo Loop, and I have covered these off in a couple of previous videos. If you're up for something that's a bit shorter but still have a good mix of dirt and sealed roads, start up at Old Northern Road again, drop in an Adventure Moto on the way past, of course, but this time you're going to turn left at the Wisemans pub, take the Webbs Creek ferry across to Webbs Creek Road, cross the bridge and then head into the dirt by turning right onto Bicentennial Road. It's a nice little climb up through the rock sides, but keep an eye out for the next turn or you'll miss it. It's 6.5 kilometres in, you'll find Wheelbarrow Ridge Trail. Don't be discouraged by the name, it is just a road and it's okay for beginners. You'll eventually find your way onto Putty Road, but you're going to turn right and then for about 15 seconds you'll turn left onto Colo Heights Road. Take the new bridge to Upper Colo Road and then quickly turn left onto Comley Roy Road, which will take you through the Winnie Creek campground. You can follow this to Bells Liner Road, or if you're not ready to go home yet, then you can cut through to Tractor 828 in Ebenezer for a nice meal. Number 3 is the Watagans. If you want to stretch out a few more kilometres, and this is the last one heading north before we go south or west. We'll start by heading up the Old Pacific Highway and snake our way through to Wyong. Gilbilly Road will then take us to the south entrance of the Watagans on the appropriately named the Watagan Forest Drive. This is a slightly steeper and rockier way in from the popular tracks, but keep that momentum going and you'll be up on the ridge in no time. And then it's a pleasant run through to the central campsites. Head west onto Wollombi Forest Road and get to the letter A. Yes, you heard that correctly. It is called the letter A. I've got no idea why. If anyone does know, let us know. Then we'll just reverse the first option of St Albans and then join onto the Colo Loop. We'll stretch this out a little bit more and avoid the ego-saturated Windsor Road by passing through some mild stomping ground in Kenthurst via Old Pitt-Town Road. Number 4, Loop the Lake. Alright, that's enough of heading north, let's wind up the kilometres and go south. Blast your way down the freeway to Mittagong and knock out some early kilometres and then top up the tanks, and then head along Wombian Caves Road. It's a nice run down to Goodman Ford as you decrease the speed and increase the inclines as you travel along. The other side of the river gets a little more exciting, but there's nothing you can't handle if you've done the previous rides. Then we join onto Langs Road. This is where you'll start to feel you're getting away from everything and heading into the dense bush. Eventually you turn right onto Range Fire Trail, one of my favourite tracks. It's a dynamic bit of dirt on both surface and geometry that continues until you reach Mount Werrong Road. If you're not keen on steepness, then you can head directly to Oberon from here, but if you want something a little more challenging, head down to Dingo Dell via Banshees Hill Trail. It's a steep drop down to a couple of creek crossings and then climb back up along Boyd River Trail to Cronangra Walls Road. Chuck a left and heading back to Oberon for much needed fuel. Check your range on this one, as it's 180 kilometers from Mittagong to Oberon, and the closest fuel station is shut on Sundays. From here you can take the casual but fun way back on the sealed roads and down Bells-on-a Road to Windsor. However, if you want to stay dirty, then you can make a detour along Glenchee Road. You can easily turn this ride into a 2-day trip with plenty of camping options or places to stay, including the Yeranderry Ghost Town. Last but not least, number 5, the Toorong River Bridle Return. So if you really want to knock out some kilometers and you feel like an early start, this is one that'll take you along some of the best roads and tracks near Sydney. Heading up along Bells-on-a Road to the Zigzag Railway and follow the old Bells-on-a Road and check out the Lost City. And then follow Blackfellows Hand Trail to the cave site. Another optional detour is to take the Bicentennial National Trail. It's a well-known but challenging track, and if you're trying to do this in a day, it might be a bit of a stretch. So instead, just head down to the Castlereagh Highway and then north up to Capertee to top up with fuel. Just north of Capertee, you'll find the Toorong Gates Road, which takes you along the river to Sofala, an absolutely stunning road. If you still have plenty of time in the day, then head west to Hill End, drop down the Bridle track. We did this in the opposite direction because we were turning this into a 2-day ride and stayed at Hill End for the night. At the end of Bridle, turn east along Turndale and across to Peel, and then north along Sofala Road. You can then top up for fuel at Wattle Flat, and then head back down to Limeskins Road, and then left onto Mount Horrible Road, which is not appropriately named because it is absolutely exquisite. If you still want some more challenging dirt, then take Eskindale Road, otherwise stay on Mount Horrible. They'll both end up on Dark Corner Road. The easy way goes via Palmer's Oakley, and while more accessible, it is a really nice ride. The sun will come up tomorrow when you get to Sunny Corner, and then you can make a final pit stop at Portland before returning to Bells-on-a Road for a casual roll back down into Sydney. All the GPX files and details of these rides and all of our rides are found on motorrides.com.au, link in the description, but don't forget to share your ride photos, videos and GPX files going to motorrides.com.au/share my ride.